our racers are CapnDrake, who is not. I don't know what happened. Second time today. But anyways, CapnDrake is one of the best mystery players that there is. Has been in top 8 many times. Has a very good win rate, and has a La Milana profile picture, and that is CapnDrake. And recently got the world record in Pizza Tower, any percent. And Yugge has only been an MT twice. Has joined some races I've seen. Is doing a whole lot better than last year because they went 0-2 last year, and here we are in losers 6. So wow,
Yeah, I pulled up a sheet. It says ID mystery tournament, which I think might mean you.
it does.
Uh, it says 7621, and as a reminder, we don't have the cards updated for this particular mystery tournament. Someone like UK is now a over 500 racer just because they've been
Yeah,
having a good tournament. So we should have a good race. I think the idea of UK going 0-2. I mean, we've seen good racers run in, especially with like the way seeding works, run into some monsters. This I think is more like at the level that Yuge is gameplay wise. And while Captain Drake's gonna be a big ask for anybody, I'm happy to see that they've been able to show off this particular mystery tournament because they weren't able to do so in their first one back in MT10.
yeah. The this screen is black, so we will see. Um, might have to recrop during the race, but we've got a game. It's one that people here might have actually played and heard of. This one isn't super obscure. I remember
Message
when it
two.
came out, it was kind of a big deal because it was official, and it feels like it's not official.
Huh. I've just seen the title.
Yeah.
Huh.
And the download is even from the just real dev's website.
We've had a few of these, I think, like this sort of not
Yeah,
uh where this sort of subgenre, but I am very curious to see how this game plays. I assume that you either tested it or seen it before.
I have. I played this. Hadn't played it before this MT. I tested it for MT, and I think the game is good, but surprisingly, the less official fan games I would say actually have better level design than this one. But I think that this game will be a fun race.
Yeah, mythical noting that there's been a huge race of this, so that we're able to get this far into the tournament and have both racers be blind is
Yeah, that's good.
a little bit of a blessing, perhaps. This is the concern I have. I still have submissions that haven't been shown, and they're like some of them are games that I'm pretty sure people are conscious of, and I'm like, okay, cross fingers, because the further you get into the tournament, two things happen. One, there's just less games are happening. We just don't have that many opportunities for like different racers to see a game if it gets rejected because of seeing it. And the second is, it turns out the people who are really good at playing video games play a lot of video games. It's hard to find a game that someone like Andy or Okami of Games, who I think has like a 3,000 game Steam library, haven't
Right.
necessarily seen.
Well, yeah, I think that's true, but then at the same time, like, there's a lot of new freeware stuff. There's a lot of retro stuff, and then if something does end up like in the pool and like just gets redrawn forever, and then like is there when the tournament ends, we just put it into next year's draw pool, unless it's like we didn't do it last year because it was like all backups that like no one really wanted to play anyway. But like under if there's like submissions and they just like keep getting redrawn, we'll just move them forward to the next year and hope that they don't get redrawn the next time.
Hopefully, we're able to play this actual game though, because of potential technical difficulties. Uh,
Oh,
if not. It's like we have we have a pool of 300. Our testers have done a lot of work. It won't be a huge issue, but
Yeah, we got
oh,
we got some more games. Pool's a lot less than that now, but it's we've only got how many races do we have left? We have a little convenient little counter on the draw list here. We have 37 matches left.
yeah, the challenge bar is like filling up, like it's going to 100%, and it is mostly filled at this point.
Yeah, well, we have 37 matches, and I'm not including top 8 matches in that.
Okay,
That's how many normal matches we have.
we
Because
can we
top
can do
8,
insight.
we decide what gets played in top 8 ahead of time. We don't just pull random games for GDQ stream.
If you want to do inside baseball, you could tell us how many games you have to cover 37 people or 37 matches.
Right now, we have 42. So
Okay.
we don't have a massive, but actually, we've got some stuff we could put in there if we have to. And then absolute like worst case scenario, we just go to last year's draw list. I mean, and just grab some games off of it. So we're gonna finish for sure.
Take that. You get Beyblades. Deal with it.
Yeah, yeah, Beyblade again. There's a Beyblade game on the GameCube too, which I recently saw streamed, and it's only like 40 minutes long. It's just like a GameCube game. You buy it and you beat it in 40 minutes. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, I've had this conversation. I think maybe not necessarily in commentary, but the idea of like a triple A game in my mind is it takes 10 to 12 hours, and I really can't figure out why that number sticks in my mind, or why, if it is correct, why it's the industry standard, other than like double digits feels good when trying to like sell a game to somebody. But it so wasn't the case back in the day with these games, where particularly the shovelware, it's like you just you got the box because it had a thing of a movie that you saw with your parents, and then they bought it, and then how long the game was. There's no like complaint system. It's like you stopped buying from that developer because they gave you a bad short game, because it's all based on the propriety. It's all based on the fact that it was Ice Age or whatever.
Yeah, we do
Yeah.
have to redraw the game.
Ah.
Unfortunately, uh, it's not running for one of the players, so we'll pull that one again later. But yeah, then they pulled a game which I think is probably going to be redrawn by nearly everybody in this tournament, even new
That
people.
was very optimistic. I mean, brilliant game, but very optimistic.
Yeah, so it's all right. We're still moving. We're gonna
The thing
find a
is,
game.
until I
There's at
found
least
out,
one in this pool.
ugh, the next game asks for a few things, but it looks like we're making progress. This is all
Well, I remember this
for.
game.
I mean, the majority of people in our chat are like also in Mystery Tournament. We're not really saying anything new. They all know the what IRC is and whatnot. But the uh the backdoor stuff is always really curious to me. Just for example, like the game that we just pulled that we're not playing. Uh, I didn't know it by that name. I knew it as a different name, and so I would have probably said yes and then pulled it up and went, "Oh, it's this game. Oops, my bad." I'm really bad at game names, but this one's been played by one of our racers, so we're on to, is this pool 4 or pool 5 at this point?
I'm surprised it was Yugge and not. They say that they've raced this game, so
You guys, the idea that these are random is like romantically great, but like as we get to the near end, you gotta save some like super obscure, like super like there's never gonna be an issue with playing it games, just to like make sure you have something to hand these players going into top 8, because this is gonna get a long list if you're talking with players who played so many games like this. What's chat up
also
to?
if anyone is considering joining and doesn't know, we have restrictions on the game. So like the game that they just pulled, they said this requires an analog controller. So if a player didn't have an analog controller, we wouldn't play it.
Oh no! You immediately have to forfeit. How dare you don't have a have a controller? It'd be I mean, personally, I've been asking for no mouse games just because dealing with carpal tunnel stuff. But the big ones are gonna be like color vision and the ability to even play the game at all. So
Wow. That was a surprising redraw.
I played that game. Okay, then that we redrew a game that we've already redrawn. Redrawn. English is a stupid language, by the way.
Am I not playing music? Whoops.
I can't hear it, but I usually can't anyways, so. How is this raceable? I'm really hoping that this gets pulled for the Enter This Mystery Tournament, because I'm very curious.
It's a good game. It's pretty difficult. We had to reduce the goal that was subbed because we couldn't handle it.
It's like a 50-50 if it was a Doom-like, then. We all know testers can't play Doom.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we're gonna continue to redraw.
And with your... Oh no. With your instincts, if you're playing against CapnDrake, do you want a straightforward game or a complicated game? Like if it was you, for example.
I would want a puzzle game because, believe it or not, my Sleepy Blocks time was faster than Drake's. So, I think
My
that's
Sleepy
probably the
Blocks
only
time
time that will ever happen in my life. But, and CapnDrake isn't even bad at puzzle games. I think I just got lucky. But so maybe in a certain Sokoban game, I could beat CapnDrake.
Sleepy Blocks is one of those games I submitted just to find out if I was actually good at it or not. And
It's a good game.
Yeah, I mean it's a good game. It's a good raceable game too. But that was just let's go check my ego, and it did nothing to prevent my ego. I did very well relative to what I saw with the racers. Okay, we have somehow found a game, and it's probably one of the more well-known games that we've drawn. So that's impressive.
Yeah, we've got a game with like a famous video game character. Which is even crazier. Yeah, it's Mario.
Yeah, we're just playing Super Mario 64. If you guys have heard of it, actually, you couldn't even do that.
It's
To be
SMB.
fair, well, no, it's N64, which we don't allow, but like the SM64 emulator is so well made. It's like probably one of the few N64 games that we could like make an exception for if it wasn't a game that everybody's seen or played.
Yeah, that's probably true. This game is only possible because, well, I mean, I guess if we had copies of it, but this game is a different experience being emulated than it is if you played it on actual hardware. That's my hint for this game.
Order of Balance 2.
Yes, that's right. The game is DDR Mario Mix. We did say it was Mario. It's been revealed.
I owned that game. I genuinely like forgotten about it until you just said it, but that was a game that I had as a kid.
Did you have the pad?
Yeah. We didn't play much DDR, and I mean even like the idea of like Guitar Hero, like I got quite good at Guitar Hero, but like I couldn't play it anywhere near my parents because like the clicking noises were just awful. But like the option to like play the music quietly, which is what they want from me, also just makes it less fun to play because then all you hear is the clicking noises and not the music. So the idea of buying DDR in my house was always going to be a failed state, but like the easiest DDR I've ever seen, by the way, like the Mario version, because it turns out Mario songs aren't like that fast paced. Mario Paint Race. So there's a suggestion, Evu. If you're doing submissions now, they'll be for MT18. But
Yeah, we've Mario Paint Fly Swatter was in top 8. You can see that in one of our recently uploaded top 8 videos on our YouTube channel. Uploaded all previous top 8s. Some of them, you know, for the better or worse, some of the streaming technology wasn't quite there. But Mario Paint Fly Swatter was in there.
It's sort of like memory I have of Mystery Tournament, where when I started submitting games, I'm like, they'll accept anything, and then I matured up and started submitting real games. But Mario Paint Fly Swatter was such a silly race. I really like it. Where are these kids at? Are we racing today?
What?
I'm just looking at the technical issues they're describing.
This Game Boy Color game, for some reason, is not running for one of the racers. Kind of an insane thing, because we pretty much never see that. But here we are.
Yeah, there's some systems that are, especially for people who've never used them, are going to give them more issues. MAME or MAME.
How is that even possible? It's a great question.
Comes to mind, but this is. I don't know. This is a clever ploy by one of our racers to not have to play this game. I figured it out. They want to do another 7 redraws.
Yeah, I will say in general this game's pretty good. So I think I'd like to see it raced, but we'll see.
I think
what happens.
I've raced this particular game in a mystery format. I think we had this game show up in a like at home race that I was doing with a friend who has way too many games.
Yeah, they're like, he's gonna try re-downloading the
I don't know.
emulator, but like, I didn't. They're like, oh, you're using the MT MUPEC. Like, I appreciate the troubleshooting, but it's like, it's not like I added anything Game Boy Color related to the MU. It's BitHawk just runs Game Boy Color. You don't have to think about it. But yeah, we'll have to see. It's definitely doing a weird thing. You can see it on stream. It like launches and then immediately like closes. It's weird.
Yeah,
Nice.
this does give the sort of concern. If this is an issue, then it might just be an issue for a lot of things that we're going to be potentially racing today. But I don't know. This is
Yeah, we're looking
a
good.
good use of my break day. Super Bowl's in like 2 hours, by the way. People who aren't overly on the internet are going to be watching football today.
I'll probably be doing both. I mean, not while streaming, but Kaspersky. Thought about Kaspersky in a long time. Here we are. The game is Kirby's Tilt and
Hey,
Tumble.
I love this sort of game. I remember as a kid, I was like 5, I didn't understand how saves work, and I was playing something like FIFA or something, and just would save a new file every single time that I would save. I was just using save as for every single thing, and pretty sure like this sort of behavior is why my parents' computers were always slow. Because don't do that. Don't be like me. And even just seeing 3 save files, I'm like, that's more than I expect from a Game Boy game.
Yeah, so because this game, you can see what it's supposed to be. How does this work on Emmy? No, not mouse. just D-pad. Just D-pad as if you are tilting it. But you have to. We recommended setting it to like 50%. Well, not D-pad, analog controller. Sorry, because it matters how much you're tilting at any given time.
The paste bin asks for a enter.
And then we're gonna
1-1
see
test.
Drake play a little bit because we wanted to make sure certain testers had different experiences with the way that the stuff's set up. So Drake's just gonna like mess around on level 1 and make sure that he can control the game, and then they're gonna go back to the main menu.
This is the exact sort of game, by the way, where you're like, oh yeah, I'm pumped. I'm playing a weird tilty game where it's like literally we're not even using the real controls, and I'm playing like this is a good chance for me to make an upset. And then the race starts, and we immediately find out that someone like CapnDrake is for some reason a Game Boy tilting savant, and the race is immediately decided on the spot because Kirby games aren't notoriously hard. So I'm curious to see how this ends up going. I'm not seeing that CapnDrake is moving, which is concerning.
Yeah, I think they're still setting up the. Let me make sure that I answered the question correctly. I'm gonna go in to my computer and launch. Oh, there we go.
We moved. Can we move the other way? You want to tilt backwards, buddy? Yay!
Whoops, sorry about that beep. Tried to mute in time. Where'd it go?
He do be tilting and he do be tumbling.
Look, he's tired.
Yeah, this joins now. What is it? Lock and Chase and Scale and Nail for our third.
Nail and scale.
Nail and Scale.
Yeah.
Our third. Now we're tilting and tumbling.
Yeah, and they're all in the Game Boy too.
It's a good subgenre. The you do 2 things genre.
Yeah, so I have my sensitivity on this set to 40%. I think the paste bin suggests 50. It's you fine either way. But if you have the sensitivity set to 100, the way this game works is you move around, but then if you like flick the stick, you jump. You know, like you're flicking Kirby, because if you were holding the Game Boy, that's how it would be. So you need to have the sensitivity not be too high, or else you're jumping just like 100% of the time.
Omega number, please finish your sentence.
Did I not finish the sentence?
No, Omega number just says Okami just Kuso Grande match shocker, and I'm like, did he
I
just
assume
win?
won the Kuso Grande match.
Yeah, I assume he's being ironic.
Yeah.
facetious. Thank you. So much nicer to be able to just chastise people on the mic instead of having to do it in chat. Yeah, you're good though. We're on the same boy, what?
I think it just needed a special thing, and BizHawk has it built in order to make this work.
Okay. You guys rolling and tilting and tumbling just fine. And
Alright, they both think it seems good now.
Drake
Oh, I've
made
been
it
out of this for a while. I didn't done this race. I'm out. The race will begin in 10 seconds.
Drake's like me. I can't even be bothered to do like the good luck have fun during the 10 seconds. Because as soon as I do that, I'm gonna not be clicked on the screen or something stupid. Okay, we're tilting and we're tumbling, and we're playing pinball, it sounds like.
Yeah. So here, we've got Kirby's Tilt and Tumble. Basically, yeah, you roll Kirby around with the analog stick here, not with the, you know, actually moving the Game Boy around. Sorry, there's a lot going on. And now, and you flick the stick to make Kirby jump. In these first few levels, it's just like, you just have to jump him onto clouds and there's no issues. But, like, you actually eventually have to be doing stuff on purpose, like over pits. Oh yeah, well there's Yugge falling into a pit. Unfortunate. Each of these little gates are checkpoints.
That was as much time loss as humanly possible for you guys. That's really sad.
Yeah.
Okay, Kirby game, you have fantastic music, but I'm turn it down a little bit. There you go. Amazing saving screen. Is Kirby the best video game character? And if
I
not,
think a lot of
why
people would say so. I mean, you know, certainly likable. Probably one of the most likable video game characters. It's difficult to have any problems with Kirby, I think.
Well, and the nice thing is, if you have like a different favorite character, Kirby could just suck them up and become that character. So
Oh, that's very true.
we're good here.
Nice. CapnDrake collecting enough for the, not P balloons, but G balloons. Needs to wait to run out of energy. Oh no.
He's too much of a G.
The original G. Here we go. On the goal. Alright. So these clouds kind of catch you. So you actually have to tilt to move this cloud around.
There's a brilliancy to Kirby. We mentioned it in the last race, so sorry YouTubers, but the something like Pac-Man, where you're just limited in design because you have to have goes and you have to collect things, otherwise it's not really a Pac-Man game. Kirby barely has. Kirby's like, cool, do you want to just be a platformer? Go for it. Do you want to be a rolling game? Go for it. Do you want to just be something else entirely? Just, okay, Kirby's just going to suck that up for most of the game. And so, the only limitation on Kirby games is the title has to be way too long. And otherwise you're fine. You can do whatever you want. Oh, you guys trying to cut the corner there and just fell off. And
yeah,
Drake
CapnDrake's
so clean.
pretty far ahead now.
Yeah.
So these you have to press these switches, and these little robots will move out of the way. You can also shake the screen, and when you do that, so when you do these flicks, it's more than just you. It's affecting a lot of different people. I don't know why Drake's coming down here.
almost 700 seconds. I think we'll be fine, Drake.
Yeah, so you have to get these robots to like move out of the way by shaking the screen right next to them.
There is like a general concern that when you're moving around as much as this, that you might not learn which mechanic attaches to which thing on screen.
It's true.
Because if you're just shaking because shaking is the thing that you're doing, you might not really pin it together, but it doesn't look like it's giving Drake any trouble. Drake seems to be playing this like it's a close to just a pre-recorded speedrun.
So, these pink... So I'm pretty sure, actually, the way that section is supposed to work is like the pink ones send you in a specific direction. But I think Drake just tilted fast enough after shooting themselves out of it that they were just kind of didn't do the maze. Which is fine. I mean, it's in the game, it works. It's not a glitch or anything, but it was pretty impressive. Nice, a little raffle from before the boss. Now we've got the eyes.
Yeah, I speedrun Pokemon Snap. People always ask how you speedrun a game that's like such like an auto-scrolling sort of game. But the reality with any time that you're trying to do a speedrun, it's just you're trying to interact with the game as little as possible. And so when you have a maze and you just don't do the maze, it's usually just gonna be faster because as soon as
It's
you
true. Nice, Drake with the 3 hits. Quick.
Meanwhile, Yugge is at a buffet.
Yep,
I'm
Drake
not
did that
100%
too.
sure.
Got more health, but didn't lose any, so it wouldn't have made a difference.
I've never like really played a Kirby game in my life, and I still have heavy nostalgia for that noise you get when you get something. The du-du-du-du-du.
Yeah. So Yugge is not cluing into that you have to shoot yourself from the corners here. Hopefully they try it eventually. Yeah,
Well,
can we get some big points in the chat?
They're not losing life here, but
Drake was really putting down those points.
okay. Now we're moving.
Jump from the square and aim for the eye, I see. Went for the question mark and it tells you. Now we're underneath the grate. That's where we want to be.
Drake's having fun. I can't tell if it's also fast, but it looks like it's also fast.
Where's... He's like in a whole different section. I don't know if I did this. Hopefully it's fine. Oh, I see. Just brings you back right here. Well, that's nice.
All of my Kirby knowledge is Smash, and whenever I see him grab the star, I'm like, please come back down. Is there a power-up that just removes enemies?
Yeah, that's Crash. So that's in a lot of Kirby games. It's called Crash, but what the power-up actually is Kirby singing very badly and everybody dying.
That sounds like something I saw in a cartoon once, where... I always found the Kirby cartoons funny, because they're like, were clearly based on Pokemon, but instead of it being Team Rocket, it was like King Dedede. I could be argued that it was the other way around, but I don't believe it was.
Oh, is that called Mike with the microphone? Is Crash different? Are you sure?
They seem pretty confident.
I'll trust you. I'll trust you on this one.
I do love this.
They do have the same effect where they kill everything on screen.
We've got.
Oh yeah, Crash you get from the big bomb, I guess. But I thought that you still pulled out the mic. You must do something else.
Hey, it's the celebration screen that they stole from Smash. Okay, so we're going to level 4, and this is level 2. I'm presuming that the level mechanic that's new for level 2 is just going to be these grades that we've been immediately introduced to, but...
Yeah, 2-3 is a little different. 2-3 has some, like, you're riding clouds. And here goes CapnDrake going off to another bonus area. It paid off last time. I don't think the time is significantly different, but...
Yeah, I don't know if there's any sort of, like, race instinct that could... This bonus area is gonna
No, didn't go back and get the checkpoint gate.
You don't need checkpoints, just be perfect.
Oh, fair enough.
I think Drake's been more than capable of doing it, but... Yeah, but this is the issue, right? Is now he has to be a bit more cagey.
There also is a time limit, which needs to be observed. Drake's really gonna go back to that thing? It drops him off right next to where he is. Could you not tell? This is rough.
I mean, Drake is doing any of the game in front of him really well.
Yes.
But is also then playing the game, including the bonus levels.
It's alright. Looks like making it to the checkpoint gate, so that's a good thing. You have to flip that dice. You have to flip the dice. Yeah. Blue. Go through the blue.
I can imagine a spot like that with more stuff on screen and it just being a real nuisance to figure out what to do.
You might notice that they're jumping more than they want to, and it's just kind of hard not to. We're probably going to be continuing to see that.
Are you able to jump over these pits that they've been, like, waiting for? Because...
Yeah, yeah, you can.
The pit that Yugge is going through right now? Yeah, okay, Yugge
yeah.
just...
It's hard to control yourself, but...
Drake was nice and patient.
Oh, jeez, okay. Well, what happens is when you jump, you then flick the stick the other way to correct it, but then what you've done is just jumped again because you flick the stick the other way to correct it, but then you flick it the other way because you just accidentally jumped, and then you jumped again, and that, like, it's really hard to get out of.
You could have just been tilting and tumbling, and it's been fine.
Yeah.
This game is not called tilting and jumping.
Alright, Drake, moving on to the next section. Going straight to the gold. I don't care about these stars.
What was it? I was explaining Celeste to my little sister, who, while is very good at the few video games that she does play, like Mario Kart, isn't much of a gamer. And I explained everything in terms of bananas. Like, you got strawberries in Celeste, which are like bananas in Super Monkey Ball, because apparently Super Monkey Ball is the universal game to compare everything against to.
Exactly.
And if not Super Monkey Ball itself, like the mini games, like the stuff that you got from Super Monkey Ball 2.
So this level's pretty hard. You can control how quickly these things are cycling around with your tilting.
Oh. We were talking about that. It was Hello Kitty, the idea of being able to control the platforms. But
that's a good point. I guess you kind of can in this game too. So you can tilt to the right, and it'll totally stop the one that you're on if you tilt against it.
Yeah,
but it'll also slow the one down in front of you.
I think it would be touchy even with an actual Game Boy, but with the like slightly weirder, or at least less natural controls that we're using.
Yeah.
I can see this taking a moment to get used to. Or you just are Captain Drake and you don't
Yeah,
care.
Drake got through that section pretty well. This section has one dead end, but I was so unlucky. I thought it had like 10. I kept thinking I was going different ways and hitting the dead end, but really there's one dead end, and so FBO put a map of it in the paste bin.
Don't know how we end up way over there, but sorry, Kirby.
Has to continue. First game over for Drake, I think. You have to start from the beginning of the level when you get a game over.
Yeah, I think Yugge had one just because of the 2000 and the fact that they've been to this level a few times now.
Drake is really pushing this, but I mean, it's working, so whatever.
This seems like a game, because it's generally straightforward, that doing things like death abuse to just not have a game over at a really poor time would be a pretty big importance.
Does it not list? I don't think it lists your remaining lives on screen, which is unfortunate.
We got the little pink boxes down to little pink
That's your
Kirby.
health. Oh, okay.
Ooh. That was spooky. But Kirby's grabbed the star and he'll come back down in a few seconds. Oh, Yugge doing the exact thing you were talking about earlier, the jump, then overcorrect, then the undercorrect to fix the overcorrection, into just dying because it's easier.
CapnDrake hit all the switches. I think we're on another boss stage here. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, the ability for Drake to just look at a level and immediately realize what needs to happen. I mean, this is why he's a top 8 player, like, because that's the most universal skill. Come on. This is just trollish.
There we go. Yeah, no, I agree. Sight reading the levels is like... I think that's the #1 thing that, at least commentators, or like me, tend to be impressed by from the best players. That they can look at a level and just be like, yeah, okay, I know what I'm supposed to be doing here. And then, a lot of times, execute it the first try.
It goes both ways, where being able to sight read is like the biggest skill, but also people who are able to sight read are also good at puzzles, for example.
Yeah, yeah. Because it's the same thing.
And they're players who've played the most games because that's why they're able to sight read. So, like the other things that we talk about, like just being clever enough to see how to beat a level and be familiar enough with games to know how a level wants you to proceed, are also like correlated with sight reading. But also, I think it's also the reason that they like playing games is they're really good at them because they're good at sight reading. So
Drake is on the boss. Very similar boss to last time, just sort of makes it worse for you, but the way you hurt him is the same way.
I feel like Kirby is like the anti-Batman, where like Batman is like the worst part about Batman, and all the cool villains are great. In Kirby, I've never been impressed by a villain. This is just
you don't like Kracko? That's Kracko right there. I think every boss in this game might be Kracko. We'll have to see. That's the second one. That's the eyeball.
There's an argument for King Dedede, but King Dedede ends up in like frenemy status so often.
Yeah, King Dedede's cool though.
Yeah, well that's the thing is he used to be an enemy, but then when all of our enemies have to be rubbish, so we have to promote him to kind of a rival or whatever. Something.
We used to play a lot of Project M, and King Dedede's very good in that game.
I have a friend who mains Dedede in Smash Ultimate. And despite the fact that he isn't like going anywhere in a tournament or anything, just because nobody plays Dedede, he's like constantly getting like these top players to like sit down and just like give me Dedede practice. It won't matter because nobody plays him. That poor penguin. And then we all play Dedede anyways because he does the lay down taunt. That's brilliant.
Oh no, Drake keeps landing in the water.
What are we doing, Drake? What is the plan here? You know what Kirby needed? It desperately needed the same thing that Zelda and Mario did, which is stealing enemies from each other. If Kirby had been invited to
Yeah.
the steal enemies from other Nintendo games party, I think it would have been slightly more iconic.
I'm surprised there haven't ever been Kirby or like Link in Mario Party.
Yeah, I mean he's loved in Smash, but that's because Sakurai is also like
Yeah.
made Kirby. But the Nintendo
This is crazy. Drake is
What is
popping
going on?
off. What the
I'm
hell's
gonna continue
going
talking,
on?
but like this is so distracting. Is this how you're meant to play this level?
All right. How long is this? Do you need that star? Okay. Oh no, you don't. You just can get it.
Okay, so these diagonal jumps that Drake is doing don't feel like what the game is asking you to do, but they do seem to be effective.
Yeah, it looks like if you tilt enough, you can push against the current, which is nice. Okay, here we are. Man, that was a long section of that level. It was just wild. He just kept going.
I desperately need to see how Yugge plays this. That same level, which won't be for a moment. Drake's got a decent lead, but
yeah,
Drake
this is
played
the
that.
first level that Yugge's on that I struggled with a little bit.
Because it's using the tilt controls more than the other levels, presumably.
Exactly. Well, and then here, so these platforms are destruct. You know, they break behind you. But these players are moving constantly anyway, so I don't think this is the biggest issue.
But like, look how natural this is to Drake. Like Drake just sees a ball game and just rolls, and we have not been a moment of thought. This is just see game, play game. The tilt controls take a moment to make sure that you're not just throwing yourself into a pit, because that's the other thing with these this level that you guys on is everything is a pit.
Drake is doing a good job avoiding the fun. One thing that Kirby games are good at is having a lot of fun little set pieces, but they do take time. Drake is doing a good job at just saying, I'm gonna not do that, and kind of going around stuff. They're on the raft. It's tubing. Oh no! Okay, make it back to the raft.
This is like Oregon Trail, where Kirby's about to reach Oregon, because otherwise this raft section makes no sense to me. Just why are we on a raft, Kirby? They're known for sucking things. This Kirby hasn't sucked up a single enemy.
Is that actually what CapnDrake said? Is I'm using tilt controls? That's so perfect. I didn't even. I'm blind to those things now because they've just been there. I don't look at them anymore.
You do be tubing. Okay, you don't look helpful. Why are you here, enemy in waterfall? So what are you? What is that little white guy meant to be?
That was like a little squid.
Okay, there's an enemy up there, which makes me feel like we want to go up there, but I'm with Drake. I don't know how to proceed here.
Oh! There's some sort of a dash.
Welcome to MT, where every game that we ever play seems to have a completely unnecessary new mechanic. And better racers are able to figure out what that stupid mechanic is.
Yeah, well, especially Drake was here from the days of no pace spin, where you got the controller and you just had to figure it out. And I think that you know, it's nice that we don't necessarily have to do that anymore, but it's still a good skill to have. You need to think about experimenting with different ideas.
There's definitely gonna be like some racers from olden days who were better when there was just no pace spin. And I mean, like statistically, there are some racers who have like been less impressive than like their absolutely dominant early days. So I'm curious if like there is actually somebody who's just failing to do Rule 0, but otherwise is an absolute monster. I don't think it's necessarily CapnDrake.
No, CapnDrake is just good no matter what. Gets the stars, because nice. Important. Can't believe you gotta wait for this dude. Well, you better get the time. You only have 630 seconds left. Drake's styling on him, getting the stars.
Oh, but his friend's coming up behind us, so we're set for life.
Not going for the second one this time. It's extra lives. I think that actually is smart to get more stars.
The one in the water there looks like a troll, but...
Yeah.
Drake getting really excited, pushing forward. You know what we should be doing? We should just be talking about Yugge, who's dealing with robots again.
Yeah. Gotta push these buttons fast. You didn't even notice this on Drake's screen because he just pressed them all immediately, but...
Not to trash Yugge, but Drake was on the screen a long time ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
it's 2-3. Yugge struggled a little bit with 2-3. It's gonna be difficult to catch up.
A very deep hole. It's been a lot of those. I don't think the game really needs to
Jump. Yeah, so I think he probably could have made it across there, but...
Oh! It looked more like what we should be doing.
It said, yeah, it did say jump from red to red. You have to not flick though, or else they turn from red to blue. There we go.
Sometimes, oh goodness, these hands.
It's all about the hands. Oh my gosh! Hit the 5 switches. Robbed. He was on that switch. There we go. I don't know, those guys... That was a bigger hallway than they've been blocking previously. Drake might have been able to get past him. He didn't look, but... Oh, we've got time bonus for the boss. We gonna get 20 more seconds? Yippee! It's Kracko again, but this time in his normal Kracko form. Gotta make sure to collect the G balloons. Oh, this is an easy fight, though.
Is this Kirby never going to suck up a single thing?
I don't think so.
Kirby game.
I doubt it.
What an impressive use of IP.
I mean, he didn't in Canvas Curse either. Did he?
Exactly.
Maybe he did.
Like,
no, I think maybe he did in Canvas Curse, but still.
Kirby can jump 1, 2, or 6 times depending on the game. He can suck up any enemy he wants.
It is true.
Kirby is girl bossing. This is my argument. And he's pink. Brilliant. Kirby, best video game character.
So here you really want to not be in the sand.
Because it's slow or because it's bad?
Because it's slow.
Which is bad.
Which is bad in this context, yeah.
Oh.
I mean, you do have a timer. The timer is real. I don't think they're ever going to run out of time, but like... Yeah, Drake is now... Yugge just finished stage 2. Drake is finished stage 3, is moving on to World 4, which is the goal.
Right, by the way, Waddle Dees are great. Kirby does have some good enemies. For everything that's great about this game and great about Kirby, the sound design beyond the music is leaving something to be desired. It's just a squeaky game.
Yeah. Well, I think the issue is just because it's Game Boy, it's like... Oh, you do have a timer in the sand. I did forget about that. So you can't be in the sand for too long or else you sink. But part of the issue with this game is that, you, like... Where was I going? Oh, they do the sounds too often, is the issue.
Yep.
Oh, almost.
Ah! I would have been here for 2 minutes. I would have been stuffing myself against that log. Would have been trying to do it for slightly too long and then died to the sand.
It's true, they should make those logs look different. Kind of mean. Can you just flip in there? Yeah, you're good.
Oh no, we learned this mechanic. I can tell you why, because you guys doing it right now.
Oh yeah. Well, Drake, I think just like didn't. I think was just like jumping like mad. Had to do it for that last one, I suppose.
Okay, we're on to the section I wanted to see how somebody with a reasonable understanding of video games.
Yeah, I mean going fast,
we're
but like
we're going sideways, which is a classic mistake. You know about the diagonal, but you're not insane like Drake, who
yeah,
just went up.
just went wild. Also collected the special red star. Here we've got blocks that turn on and off, based on the clicks. At least we did have that. So yeah, these red-blue things, when they're blue, they just knock you back and forth. When they're red, and you change it by flipping them, they, like, knock you, like, up into the air. They lob you.
Okay. Getting bullied in the middle of, like, a safe area is fine. It's like small amounts of time loss. I'm scared of these things that push you away. If we get any before the end of this game, that are like
yeah, that was a pretty short level for Drake. I think they just knew that that was hard, and so they made it short. So even though it was a very bullying level, 4-3, so 4-4 is the end of the goal.
Ow. Imagine how much quicker we could go if Kirby could turn into a car in this game. Ooh. Okay. These little Waddle Dees are like super threatening, not because they have anything to do, but because we're just on these like very precarious spots. I don't hate the idea that Drake's doing of just actually doing the jump and tumble just to get rid of them entirely. Because it really does feel like we're about to fall into a pit if we don't. Did this maze confuse Tester's ID?
No. It was just that other one.
it looks more confusing, but the more I look at it, the more it looks like it just kind of takes you the right direction.
Yeah. As long as you're moving up, you know you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, good stuff from Drake.
I also had a much harder time actually jumping over those like the you know, what are they called?
Why?
Gordos.
Kirby.
They're called Gordos. Oh no. Drake says I'm losing. But still has to wait. No! What has happened? What a horrible turn of events.
Okay.
No! Oh my gosh! Well, this was missed. I mean, if the race came down to this, we would redraw. I think Drake is probably gonna win anyway, but what an incredible situation to have been put
submitted, is this just a bonus game that the testers never found?
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah, I didn't do it. I mean, and so yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't know how Drake did it. I wasn't looking at the screen when it happened.
I think that's the best troll we've had this so far. MT. Kaizo Kirby is where it's at.
That's so sad. Luckily, it's not determining the race, but it's a significant time. Oh,
okay.
man.
We didn't make top 3, so we didn't get additional time loss of having to type in our name or something. Can't troll us that much, Kirby.
Well, you have to find a hidden blue star, I see, and then it does a bonus game. On 4-4 though.
Drake has ended up in a lot of places that I'm not 100% confident you're meant to end up in, so.
I can't believe Drake hit the thing and it gave him more time. That's so funny. Oh, jeez. It would be less funny if it wasn't Drake and he wasn't really good and probably gonna win this with no
I said it.
issues.
I said it earlier. The secret to speedrunning is interact with the game as little as possible, and Drake fell for the trap.
I know.
Okay. These robots are bullies, but the spikes are the only thing that do damage as far as I can tell.
Yeah, the robots don't damage you.
That's a star.
Taking him to the boss, I believe. This looks like a boss arena to me.
Plenty of time. Not as much life as we could have, but...
You can do a world skip too? Man, this has gone better than it should have. I think we'll have to not include this one in future MTs. But that being said, I mean, you know, sometimes it's hard to know these things. And this ended up being a good race regardless, so yeah, I'm happy with this one. Oh, geez, though. As long as Drake isn't stuck on this for 20 minutes. How did Yugge get 1 blue and 1 red?
I think that was at the very moment they died. I think,
Okay.
like you could see them flash when they get touched. You can tell it's a boss because the music is...
Oh, no!
Oh!
You got Beybladed right out of there.
So this race isn't particularly close. Like, Drake's gonna clean this up here in a moment, but if you're Drake, you've gotta feel like this is all falling apart.
Seriously, I played a minute-and-a-half bonus game, and then now I'm getting knocked out of this twice. Doing a good job of avoiding his wrath this time around.
Yeah, the only blessing here is nobody's finished in this race, including like the people who are just racing along. So that's nice, but Drake is, for being as clean as they have been this whole race, these last few minutes were a lot.
Yeah.
Aw, he cried. Kirby, why do we do this? Good submission level, if I do say so. Drake finishing in 38 minutes feels like a really good length of this race.
I told Drake in the race chat, I said, so sorry about the bonus game. Oh, man. I love that. Apparently there's a warp too.
I like a world map that you can tell how many worlds are gonna be, or how many levels there's gonna be, because
Yeah.
I see 2 additional gaps. So we're about halfway done with the game. Big GG's to Drake though. Beyond the nature of the game trolling there at the end. Just an absolutely clean performance, and the sort of performance that would win this against any racer, not just Yugge today. So.
See if you guys got audio. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, you guys playing this level like a reasonable person who's trying to avoid the enemies, and Drake played like an unreasonable person, which sometimes will get you punished, but definitely not today. This is an unreasonable game, deserves an unreasonable racer.
Yeah, one thing that I don't like about this game, although I do think it's pretty good in general, is the health is a little ambiguous. Like, it's just like, it's split into these discrete sections, but they are not tied in any way to how much damage things actually do.
We need these stars.
No. Yugge sees it now. The timing is not easy, though. Drake was getting these every time. We were just taking that for granted. Like, yeah, obviously you're gonna get this, but, like, you're really not. It's actually pretty tight timing.
On the screen, it looks like we're doing it right, like we're getting it facing forward. Then we're dragging off to the right, and I'm not sure why it's so much of a nuisance.
Maybe, maybe Drake has a notched controller and Yugge doesn't.
Yeah, that's it. Like, it just looks like we're being sent straight forward, but we're flying off way to the right, unless you guys hold.
Oh no, you didn't even need to do it!
Oh, come on! Unreasonable game has the unreasonable racer. I don't even think Drake even tried that. You guys just trying to play the game like the game wants to be played. That wasn't the quick way today.
Well, if you have to go that far out. Although you do have to, as far as the bonus game goes, there's not a lot you can do to avoid it. Drake got that blue star just for going in a specific part of the sand. And so I don't know, and like, he couldn't say no. I think that would be the bigger issue rather than the fact that there's a warp. Oh, didn't know that that was going to be the spinner. All right, moving through this section really well. Maybe even better than Drake did this section the first time.
People updating us on other mystery tournaments, and like, or mystery game sort of things that are happening, like Kuso Grande. Makes me feel 2 feelings. One, I'm like, sweet, there's more of this sort of thing that there should always be in the world. Thank you to Bersentia and Kuso Grande and anybody else who hosts a thing like this. But 2, they're playing Sokoban and we're playing Kirby, so I think we won today.
Wait, but Crusader of Senti is like a really good game. Did they just set you in a specific section with Sokoban?
I also can't tell if Kapow in chat is talking about Kirby or Sokoban at this point.
He's talking about this game. But even if you can pick it, the issue is not getting the blue star versus getting it. Oh yeah, if there is one where you can lose immediately, I mean, but that's still like 5 seconds, but I mean, that's true. That's not the worst thing in the world. You certainly couldn't in Drake's, where you shot the balloon and got even more time. So insane. Also, thinking about it, that bonus game would be super hard with the tilt controls.
Yeah, Drake was like, seemed like they were trying to hit the balloons just for the sake of it, and was struggling tremendously to do so up until the point the real enemy showed up who gave extra time.
One up, I notice you dropped out of this one. Boy in Box, I understand. Did the game just not feel quite right to you? Oop. Oop. Okay.
I now understand what you're talking about when you were doing the testing for this, with the jumping is scary and over adjusting.
Yeah.
But because Drake was ahead and we're watching more Drake, and Drake is just made it look easy. Maybe this game isn't tremendously easy like Drake made it look. Maybe this is a real game.
Yeah, the big thing, I set the sensitivity to 40%. I don't know what the ideal one would be. Because you would think if you don't set it high enough, then, like, your actual max speed is decreased. But I tested with a few different things, and it didn't seem to make a difference, which I didn't really understand. Oh, don't want to go down, but whatever. We have to.
Ooh.
Oh, there's a bumper right in front of the thing.
Oh, that's not a great game over. Yeah.
This wasn't one of the advertised ones for the Switch thing, was it?
I always wonder who the market audience is for playing Kirby's Tilt and Tumble on the Switch.
I mean, people who didn't keep it.
Is it like parents who want to show their kids a game that they played 20, 30 years ago?
I don't know. They don't. I guess kids do play the Switch. There's no kids in any of the advertising for the Switch stuff, though. It's always adults. It's not like the Wii.
Yeah. And like, when you think about games that like 10-year-olds are playing these days, I can't imagine that there are too many kids just jumping on the Switch and playing their dad's games.
I mean, maybe. My brother does stuff like that. He's 16. He plays old people games. But that's because I already played games that were like older than I should even be playing, and so.
I mean, does he play Dig Dug?
Obviously not. I would never let him play Dig Dug. Get that out of my house. No, I'm just kidding. I don't even care about it. I don't even hate Dig Dug that much. I just think it's kind of boring. I thought it was funny to call it a boomer game.
And that was, I think it was me who said it first, and you just latched onto it, and now you get the hard time for it. But Dig Dug is such a boomer game, man.
But there are some games, like, I would still play original Donkey Kong all day long. I feel like it's pretty fun. Maybe not
But
all
like,
day.
if my work has like a launch up arcade, and there's like 60 games, and I was getting my, the joystick is foreign to me, so I was getting my ass kicked by, some old Donkey Kong games and whatnot. And it has Dig Dug, and I think Dig Dug 2, which is somehow worse. And I'm just like, the idea of launching Dig Dug when you have 50 other games being suggested to you is
yeah,
offensive to me.
I beat Contra Arcade on one of those like modern retro arcade machine things, and that's like it was hard, but it was worth it.
But we're fighting the final boss.
Here we are.
I
So will
would not
Yugge
be.
pick up on avoiding the Beyblade instead of being a little bit more aggressive like Drake was being at first?
I would not be surprised if Yugge actually does this better than Drake, because Drake got cornered and sent off to his doom like
Twice.
pretty quickly. Ow.
Oh, okay. Oh, he doesn't come at you if you're at the wall.
Yeah, but is he ever gonna stop spinning? There we go.
Look at this! Look at this strat! Now this is Kirby. Oh, darn, I thought... Near miss. Oh,
If
geez.
Kirby sucked up this enemy, what would he look like?
Like those Waddle Dees that just have the big eye.
Yeah.
Waddle Do.
But like pink.
Yeah. Oh no, oh no.
Nope,
okay.
no. That's the one thing you're not allowed to do. They've meanly put a hole here.
No!
And
Okay. Good. Went for the maximum tomato, whatever. I think
Oh,
it's
there
just
is the
one more
other-
hit.
there is a death clause, by the way. The you could also die at the quicksand, but
Oh, yeah. Wow. Even after
Okay.
finding the exploits, too bad. Yeah, and I think these just go down. This is just a 3-hit boss here. Only needed the one more.
is it Japanese games that usually are more willing to do the 5-hit boss, or is it the American games? I can never remember the.
Usually it's Japanese
Interesting.
games where, like in NES games especially, it'll be like the 50-hit boss.
Oh yeah, but that's because NES games wanted to steal your quarters.
That's fair. But I mean, I do like that. I like when bosses are more challenging than the level, or at least as challenging. I don't like it either way, when the level is way too easy and bosses are hard, or when the level's way too hard and bosses are easy. You should keep it consistent.
I have opinions for racing versus opinions for games.
Well, that's fair.
Because I want my races to have bosses that are challenging, but not going to like ruin the race by being a wall. But in a game, I'm like, punch me, like, let's do it.
There it is. And it's probably a dot done from Yugge, let me see. Last thing Drake said in race chat was damn after I told him about so I thought we had a dot damn from Yugge, but we don't. We now have a dot done. Nice. Yeah.
Mario would never have 3 Marios dancing.
No, it's true. Although Kirby's done that from the beginning. We'll see if, no, it doesn't. We'll have to write.
UK's comment says, "Don't play this with a joystick. ... Which highly concerns me.
Don't play this at 3 a.m. Alright, let's look at what's coming up here. Because we got too big of a break to do anything more now. And I probably won't be around to stream this game later. But we'll catch it in a vodcast. Someone else streams it in 4.5 hours.
Arrow fodder recently.
We have Crankdud versus Arrow Fodder. Then a day after that, we have Okami versus Polterghost. The day after that, we have that one guy versus Maurice. And 3 days after that, we have someone versus Draconic Dawn, which will decide a top 8 competitor. So, we got some... It's winding down, but we still got some big ones coming up. But,
and every
yeah.
single match has somebody who's been in top 8. But 3 of them are losers matches, so we're gonna see a lot more finalization. There's gonna be less matches in general, which is all the more reason to follow, because every match matters, and if you're missing stuff going into top 8, shame on you. YouTube's less fun.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. If you're interested in watching top 8, it is. I mean, we've known for a long time, but I haven't announced it. Now it's a little bit more relevant. It is March 11th and 12th. Yes, March 11th and 12th. So, I don't know. Set aside time for the weekend if you want to watch it live. I might take a day off work, but that's for a different, because I need to do stuff. You don't have to do that. You could just come and watch and on GDQ stream and have a good time. But yeah, thanks a lot for joining me, Pwn Noob. Thanks everybody for some great races, and we'll see everyone later.
Good work. I just said things. Yeah. See you soon, guys. And perhaps in 4 hours.